What's up, guys? Welcome to the Intuitive Souls podcast. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. If you've been listening for a while, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for continuing to come back and listen and take these tips and tricks and whatever wants to come through me when I press record and integrating it into your life. You know, there's a reason that I don't have an introduction to this podcast where I tell you who I am, what I do, what this podcast is about. And honestly, it's because I want to give this podcast space to grow. For the last 4 years, this podcast has had so many different growth spurts. And I feel like this podcast is an extension of me, in a sense. You know, I started this podcast being one version of myself, and then, you know, now I'm definitely not that version anymore. And maybe I just kind of want to, maybe I'm treating this podcast, I know this sounds weird, guys, just roll with it. I'm kind of letting this podcast do as it will and let it learn and shape into what it wants to be at this particular time. You know, and what it is now is essentially me feeling inspired, grabbing my phone and pressing record, and me talking about the things that I want to share with you and the things that I feel like want to come through me at that particular day to just help you. I mean, that's really the intention has always been to give you the tools, the tips, the tricks, everything you need to remember who the fuck you are, remember to trust your intuition, tell your ego to shut the fuck up, and just allow yourself to shine in the unique way that you want to shine. And this podcast has really just been, you know, I'm getting very reminiscent here, but it's really been, it is true where it is like an extension or a vlog of some sort of my own personal journey and me coming into my own and recognizing things about myself and, you know, me growing as a person, me evolving as a person. And I hope that this front row seat to my own evolution is inspiring you. And I hope that it's giving you that okay to let you know that you can do things messy. I mean, for fuck's sake, I'm sitting here. I have all the podcasty things upstairs in my office, but I'm sitting here on my iPhone recording this because this is what feels good for me at this time. This is what I am aligned with, just allowing myself to talk to you guys in a very casual kind of way, I guess, so to speak. And I just want this podcast, I guess, to let you know that it's okay to do things your way. That's the only way to do things. It's okay to not have everything figured out. It's okay if you don't feel aligned with being overly spiritual and doing all those things. It's okay if you're not aligned with some of the spiritual teachings that you come across. It's okay. It's okay. You know, just the reason why I have found myself walking this path and teaching this stuff to you is because my main intention back in 2017 was I just wanted to feel better about myself. I just wanted to learn more about who I am. I wanted to connect with my soul. I wanted to know that there is something bigger and more magical than what our physical worlds show us. And I have found that. Spirituality and what I do, I'm not trying to prove anybody wrong. You know, I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, I talk to dead people and I do some really wild shit and you know, all of this kind of stuff. I'm not here to prove anything to you. If you want to learn more, that's great. Hang out. I'm not really, you know, I'm just here to fulfill my purpose. And I hope that it's helping you. That's all I'm trying to say. And today, I guess after that whole ramble wanted to come out, I want to talk about when you find yourself in a funk, because it's inevitable. Okay? If you're looking for a love and light podcast that's all fucking positive and tells you all the happy shit, this isn't your podcast. I tell it like it is. I'm going to share with you the things that you might not want to hear, and I don't care. This is what wants to come out of me at this time. Okay? Wherever you are on your path, guess what? You're going to have funky days. You're going to have days where you're going to feel unmotivated. You're going to feel down. You're going to feel like shit sometimes. And I want to share with you some of the things that I have learned when I find myself in those instances of lacking motivation, when I'm feeling low about myself, when I'm criticizing myself, when I'm finding myself in the blame game or in fear, because it's going to happen, and you are strong and you are wise, and you're going to get yourself out of those situations. So because this is transparent, I was having like a funky day yesterday. I wasn't wearing makeup. I looked like fucking Shrek. I wasn't feeling that great. And on top of all that, I kind of found myself staying at home. And because it's the winter here and the weather here in New England has been weird, cold one day, warm one day, absolutely below freezing temperatures another day. Winter doesn't know what it wants to do for us here. And I'm someone who struggles with the disconnection to nature. You know, seasonal depression is a real thing, guys, especially most likely if you're listening to this podcast, because we are so attuned and we are so energetically sensitive to the energies around us and to the energies that we are connected to. And when I am not connected to nature, this is when more times than not, I find myself just feeling like a bitch, like I'm moody, I'm not happy. I want to just, did you ever hear that like video online? I think it's on TikTok. And it's just this woman saying like, I feel like being a bitch today. That was exactly my yesterday. I just wanted to find fault in everything. I really did. I wanted to just be a miserable Melissa. I wanted to be a miserable Melissa. Okay. I wanted to be a Karen. I don't know why. I do know why. It was most likely because I didn't go outside. I'm lacking a connection to earth. And yeah. And honestly, like I just kind of found myself, I did shower yesterday. And that made me feel better. But you know, when you do not feel it, like, you know what I mean, ladies, like when you are like in your worst, shittiest pajama shirt and like you're just looking like a hot mess express and you really are not feeling confident and secure in your own body, and you're just like, you look like the Trunchbull, right? Like that's exactly what I looked like, with the fucking bun on top and the big ass nightgown shit that I was wearing. I wasn't feeling good about myself at all. And when you find yourself in those funky moods, trust me when I tell you, you really have to be aware of it, because, oh my God, how quickly you go down the negative spiral. How quickly it is to start telling even more negative stories, and then to find yourself in an even deeper hole or a deeper funk. Because that's what essentially happened, okay? One negative thought, because it is, you know, our thoughts are powerful. Let's be real. It creates our reality. So when we find ourselves thinking one negative thought, remember they are contagious. You have to think of negative thoughts as being contagious. So when you are able to take a step back and find that you are thinking that negative thought, just say, that's interesting. Okay, we're going to let that go now. Because usually I'm pretty good with that. But for some reason yesterday, I guess I thought a negative thought and it just kind of spiraled. It just kind of spiraled to the point where I was just sitting in my bed, like mad and angry and just moody and wanting to be alone at like 5 p.m. So, with that being said, okay, here's what I did today to snap me the fuck out of it. The first thing I did was, you know what? I don't want this to continue. A new day is a new day. You can be a bear one day and then the next day you can be the princess. That's the great thing. Every time we fall asleep, every time we wake up, it is a new, fresh start. And when I woke up this morning, I knew I didn't want that kind of day to end into this day. So the first thing I did was I asked myself, what can I do to get myself in a higher vibration? What is it that's going to make me just a little bit happier, just a little bit more positive today? And the first thing that came to mind was like, after you put the kids on the bus, go to Starbucks, get your favorite drink. Okay, that sounds great. Yes, that will make me feel good. When I'm holding a Starbucks cup, there's something about it. I feel a little bit more luxurious. I feel a little bit more, I'm ready to take on the world. When I'm sipping that vanilla chai latte or matcha latte, I'm feeling more disciplined. I'm feeling more action oriented. I'm feeling a little bit more bougie, okay? So yeah, I went and I got myself a vanilla chai latte. And then as soon as I got home, I don't have any place to go today. I don't have any people that I need to look good for, so to speak. It's not an on-camera day for me. But you know what I did? I used the power of glamour magic to make me feel a little bit better about myself. So I went, I curled my hair, I put my makeup on, and now I feel so much better. I don't give a fuck what everybody says. Yes, beauty is within. I get that. But there is something when it comes to glamour magic. It works. Everyone feels better when you look beautiful. Everyone looks better. Everyone feels better when they feel beautiful. So I went and I made myself feel good. I did all the things. I put the mascara on. I put the full face of makeup on. And I feel so much better. If you were to ask me yesterday, at this point, at 10 a.m., how do I feel? It's not like this. And that's how quickly you can shift your perception. That's how easy it is. I know I'm not the only one that struggles with finding ourselves in kind of funks, especially when it's so hard to really ground ourselves in earth energy and be locked away in our fucking houses. Oh, I get it. But those simple things of doing that, I'm telling you, you're gonna feel better. I'm telling you, I promise you. Even if you still are like mad about something, maybe your husband pissed you off, maybe your house is a fucking atrocious disaster, maybe if you're still moody about something, going and putting on some fucking makeup, making yourself look good, and then looking in the mirror, I promise you, you're going to be looking at a bad fucking bitch that can take on the world. That's all there is to it. Use the power of glamour magic and ask yourself, what is going to make you happy? Maybe it's going and buying supermarket flowers. Maybe it's going for a hike if it's warm enough. Maybe it's calling your best friend. It's usually very simple. Spirit is simple. That's the great thing about it. When you ask what is going to help you, it's usually so simple. It really is. And it always works. So I hope that this helps. I hope that everyone is at least trying to enjoy this weather wherever you are. And I will see you guys around the internet. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube too. All right. Bye, guys.